PPE at Durham. So welcome everyone to the presentation on Durham PPE. It's designed, this is the spiel that I get given, so designed to provide you with a unique, interdisciplinary and research-led education in the intersection between philosophy, politics and economics. So the obvious question, why you're all here today, why should you choose PPE at Durham? So obviously, there's a lot of differences in PPE programs depending on which university you go to. Some of them do it in kind of one faculty, one department. Others do it spread across different departments. We're in the latter category, but all three of the subjects, your politics, your philosophy, and your economics, they're all carried throughout the course of your degree. You will do at least some of each of them in every single one of your years, but there is the possibility to specialise down in any one of the subjects if you are particularly interested in it. That's not to say that you have to specialise. It's perfectly possible for you to carry out an equal amount of politics, philosophy and economics in all three academic years, but as I'll come on to in a couple of slides, there is a possibility for you to do less of particular topics that you're less interested in, more of ones that you are more interested in. So one of the key advantages of Durham University in general across all of our programmes is that the teaching at Durham is research-led. So the individuals that will be your lecturers, they are all researchers in their field. They have all conducted research in either politics, philosophy or economics. They are pushing boundaries in the current thinking in the field. And what this means is that you will be led by, you will be taught by, in your lectures, people who are the subject experts, the people that know the most about their particular topic area anywhere in the world, because that's the requirement to be published. And this is true across the three disciplines. Durham has international study opportunities and work placement opportunities as well, and I'll come on to those again in a few slides' time. We have what we like to think of as a vibrant student community, so particularly on extracurricular activities. Durham has a huge array of extracurricular activities, and one of the nice things, again, I'll come on to in a slide on the colleges, is the different levels of extracurricular. Quite a lot of other universities, because they don't have colleges, because they don't have these student communities, the only way to engage in extracurriculars is at a university level, which can be quite intimidating, whereas Durham doesn't have that. We have these colleges, which I'll again come on to, which give you the opportunity to engage at a more amateur level, a more intermediate level as well. The teaching facilities at Durham are not to toot our own horn, they are excellent. We've just had a huge investment in a new teaching and learning centre, which you may have seen if you've wandered around the campus here. These facilities are state-of-the-art. They're in terms of universities in the UK, relatively brand new. They were completed just before COVID. So just before we couldn't use any of them for 2 years, we had this nice brand new building that was opened. But now that we're back in person, we're now making full use of those facilities. And Durham also has excellent career prospects. We've got a number of relationships with different firms across a wide array of different fields, and particularly in the business school, we've got very good business connections as well. So I said I'd talk about the colleges, and I do indeed want to talk about colleges, and they are what we call the Durham difference. So for those of you that have gone to open days at either Oxford or Cambridge, there is a difference between the college system there and the college system here. And the big difference is here, colleges are purely pastoral. So they're purely, they're in your first year, they're accommodation based. So first years, with very few exceptions, live within college accommodation, within the college community, and the colleges are there to provide pastoral support. They aren't there to provide teaching. So all of the teaching at Durham is conducted by the academic departments. In the case of PPE, it's conducted by the politics department, the philosophy department, and the economic department. But the colleges are there to provide pastoral support, they're there to provide well-being support, they're there to help you if you experience any serious adverse circumstances, they're there to provide support in that way. And it really does show in the statistics as well. So one of the key ways we can see the impact of the colleges is on dropout rates. So of all of the universities in the UK, Durham has the fourth lowest dropout rate over the 3 years of any university. And one of the key reasons for that is this system of pastoral support. They're very good at helping people, particularly if they experience difficult circumstances. And the other advantages of the colleges, which I encourage you to go round if you can, there are many of them spread all throughout the campus, is on the extracurricular side of things. So colleges tend to run a wide array of societies, just what I would call for fun. So the university, of course, has university level sport, it has university level dramatic arts, music, a wide array of other societies, but then there are also these types of societies at college level as well. So if you're less confident about your abilities, if you just want to go for a bit of fun, then the colleges provide all of these opportunities to do so. And again, this shows in the statistics on the proportion of people at Durham that engage in a type of sport. It's one of the highest of any university in the UK, and primarily that comes down to the opportunities available through the colleges. So that's the pastoral side of things. Onto the academic side of things. So the departments, because it's PPE, it's spread across 3 departments. In economics, there's around 45 to 50 different members of academic staff teaching economics. They teach across a wide array of subjects. They research across a wide array of subjects as well. And economics is part of Durham University Business School, which comes with a number of advantages that I'll keep coming back to throughout the rest of the presentation, including in terms of business connections, study abroad connections, etc. In politics, they're slightly bigger than us. We've tried to expand to beat them, but they keep on pushing the boundaries forward as well. So they're between 50 and 55 members of staff in what is officially known as the School of Government and International Affairs, but it is, for the purposes of PPE, the politics department. And then in philosophy, you've got around 30 to 35 members of academic staff in the philosophy department as well. As I said earlier, there is excellence in both teaching and research, so we're recognised in the Teaching Excellence Framework. We're also recognised in the Research Excellence Framework, particularly in terms of the performance in the Research Excellence Framework. It was very good in the latest exercise, which was 2 years ago now. As I said, we have the excellent facilities for teaching, but also for the extracurricular activities as well. The university's invested a lot of money into the extracurricular facilities as well. Huge investment in the theatre in the centre of Durham, the Assembly Rooms Theatre. Maiden Castle, which is the main centre for university-level sport, that's just undergone a quite large refurb as well. So we have all of these as well. And as I said, we have strong international links if you do care to do a study abroad. Modules. So the way Durham works is students complete roughly 6 modules each year. So PPE is not on the semester system. So what that means is that the modules that you will study will be spread throughout the course of the academic year. So you'll start them in September, October, complete them in around March sort of time, then April there'll be a revision period, and then the examination period in the summer, and there's 6 modules. Across the programme, some modules are core or compulsory, so you have to take these modules, and then in addition to these, there are a number of options that you can select from. And in general, on the PPE programme, the number of modules that are core or compulsory decreases each year. So why is that? So we believe that it's important to get strong foundations in each of the 3 disciplines. So in first year, the amount of choice that you have in 2 of the subjects is non-existent. It's all core modules. In one of the subjects, it's 2 from a certain list, but then as you get into second year and third year, the number of options relative to core increases as well. First year, so as I said, this is where we get that core information, that basic information across. So in economics, we've got 2 modules. We've got what we call principles of economics and economic methods. So principles of economics, that's your introductory course to macroeconomics and microeconomics, getting those foundations in. And economic methods, this is maths and stats. So getting everyone up to a level playing field as far as their knowledge of mathematics and statistics is concerned. Then in the philosophy department, again, we've got 2 compulsory modules, 2 core modules here. And then in politics, at the moment, we have a choice of 2 from a list of 5. So what I will say is that the modules that different departments offer does change. We change in response to changes in the world, changes in members of staff. If we've got someone who's come in who's an expert in political economy, then generally we'll start up some political economy teaching for them to do. So these can change, but this is what's available for current first years at the moment, this choice of 2. So as I said, first year, not a huge amount of choice because we've got to get the basics in. We've got to get those basic understanding across the 3 different departments. But then in second year, the number of compulsory modules decreases. So in economics, there's again a choice of compulsory modules. So if you want to specialise more in economics, if you are enjoying economics, then you can take macroeconomics and microeconomics separately. So 1 module in macroeconomics, 1 module in microeconomics. But if you're enjoying it slightly less, if you think, no, I want to specialise more in politics and philosophy in my second year and my third year, then we have the option of economic theory, which is covering both macro and micro, but at a more basic level because it crowns it down into 1 module. And then, again, in philosophy, only 1 compulsory module, spread, you can have 1 of the 2, and in politics, a minimum of 1. So in second year, the number of core modules decreases down as well. So this is where the specialisation comes in. So again, as I said, the modules that we offer do change every year depending on who's available, who's in the departments. So this is an example of the students that are currently choosing their modules for next year. This is an example of what's available to them. So this is an example of a student who's chosen, I really love philosophy and I want to specialise down in that. So they take economic theory, the 1 compulsory module in economics in second year. They take 1 module in politics, this red one here, and then they take all of these philosophy modules. And then in level 3, again, you have to maintain at least 1 module in each discipline throughout the degree, as I said at the beginning, but there are modules that are more interdisciplinary. There are ones that cross over more, so development economics, as I'm sure one of our student ambassadors can confirm later on, not that I'm biased because it's my module, quite often chosen by PPE students. And then we've got 1 politics and then the philosophy, including a dissertation in philosophy. So I'll come back to the dissertation in a couple of slides' time, but this is something that you will have to do in 1 of the 3 different modules, but you get to choose as a PPE student which particular department you want to do your dissertation in. Politics, again, we can specialise down in politics, taking the minimum amount of economics, economic theory, minimum amount of philosophy, the political and social, and then specialising down in politics, and again, in third year, choosing to do your dissertation in politics, and then some other modules in politics as well. Or, as I am perhaps biased to say, if you really want to specialise down in economics, again, you can do so. You split out the microeconomics and macroeconomics, you take econometrics, another economics option, and then the minimum amount of politics and philosophy, and then in third year you take the dissertation in economics, 2 economics options, and then again the minimum amount of politics and philosophy. As I said, you don't have to do this. You can, if you want to, maintain a 2-2-2 spread in second year. In third year, you have to drop down a little bit because there's a requirement that if you do a dissertation in a subject, you also have to do 1 more module in that subject, which again, we don't think is particularly unreasonable. So in third year, you can go to a 3-2-1. But if you want to, as you can see, you can go to a 4-1-1 if you really want to. So one thing that we do encourage for PPE students is the need to plan the degree. Because you're across 3 different departments, when you're choosing your modules, particularly if you do choose Durham and come to Durham, when you're choosing your second year modules, planning ahead into the third year, and particularly planning ahead for the dissertation. So, what is the dissertation? So the dissertation in each of the 3 departments is an independent research project. In each of the departments, it's a double module, so it counts for 2 out of your 6 final year courses. And this is entirely driven by you. So you choose the topic. You choose what you want to do research in. You choose something that you are particularly interested in. And the fantastic part of the dissertation is every dissertation is a contribution to knowledge. So you will be doing something that no one else has done or published before. You will be pushing forward the boundaries. It's the requirement of the dissertation. Don't worry. It can sound intimidating at this point in time, but there is a huge amount of support available for you. You have support in choosing your topic at this time of year. So literally an hour ago, I had a student who I was meeting with to discuss a topic that they wanted to do for their dissertation next year. So you'll discuss with academics in the department you want to do your dissertation in, your topic, you'll discuss the feasibility, the contribution, etc. And then when it comes to the dissertation itself, you'll then be assigned a supervisor from the department where you're doing your topic, and they will help to guide you through the process. All of the supervisors are, as I said, because Durham's a research-led university, they are experts in research. They are experts in the research process. They can guide you through the process of this independent project. So when you're doing your dissertation, you've got that support, but when it comes to choosing your modules more widely, again, you've got more support as well. It's not like we expect you to choose your modules blindly with no knowledge of what's coming. There is support available. In economics, every single year is assigned a year tutor. So that's what I am at the moment. I'm the year tutor for year one, and that year tutor sees your year group through. So next year I'll be the year tutor for year two, and then the year after for year three. So they accompany a single academic year throughout the course of their degree to provide that first point of contact, to provide that point of support, to provide guidance in choosing your modules. Where, again, this is the time of year when our current students are choosing their modules for next year, and again, I've been in constant contact with students from the current year ones on what modules to choose, which ones will be best for them going forwards. And every student is also assigned an academic advisor as well, an individual academic as a point of contact who can provide, for example, references letters when it comes to internships and jobs later on, who can also provide advice of choosing your modules. And then, of course, in addition, you've got the program director as well. So that, again, the person who leads the PPE program across the different academic years. So, how do we deliver? Please forgive the amount of drinking that I'm going to be doing over the course of. So, we deliver through a combination of different teaching methods. One of the big ones is lectures. So they will be things like this, where you'll have a large number of students in a particular room, and you'll have a lecturer standing at the front of the room and talking at them for an hour to 2 hours, depending on the particular module. So the lectures can vary in sizes, and what tends to happen with the size of the lectures is they decrease in each academic year. So the level 1 modules, the lectures tend to be quite big because we have more core modules, more compulsory modules, less options, but then as the years go on, the number of options available increases, so the number of people in each module decreases. So we've got some first year lectures in economics around 250, but then we've got some third year lectures in economics which are all the way down to 30, so much more intimate. But then that's not the only type of teaching, so modules generally quite often will have lectures, but then they'll also have classes, and we use classes as a catch-all term because we've got a lot of different categories within that, and this is our smaller group teaching. So this includes seminars, tutorials, workshops, computer practicals, etc., and this is our small group teaching, and the size of the group tends to vary from department to department. So economics has the largest small group teaching, and then it tends to go down with then politics smaller than that, and philosophy smaller than that. Again, just because of the nature of the disciplines and the nature of what's happening in these. So the style of the seminars, again, it varies from module to module, and it will be the style that is most suited to the material that is being presented. So some modules will have discussion-based seminars. So my module, Development Economics in third year in economics, that's entirely discussion-based, where we discuss two big topics over the course of the seminar. Again, philosophy and politics, much more on that end of the spectrum. And then on the other end of the spectrum, you've got kind of problem set-based classes, where you'll be given a set of questions to prepare in advance, and then in the seminar, you'll go through the answers, help you with any difficulties that you're having over that time. And for other modules, particularly in economics, you might have computer practicals as well. So particularly if you choose to specialise more in economics, taking econometrics in second year, then there will be computer classes as well on statistical software and things of that nature. But again, those are the different types we have. We also have formative assignments. So these are assignments that don't count towards your overall degree. So these are opportunities for you to practice in the modules. So every module has formative assignments. There's a range of different formative assignments. These range from, again, multiple choice tests, some modules in first year, kind of in-person examinations, in other modules, online examinations, or essays all the way through to that. And again, depends on the particular discipline. And then there is private study, so both individual study and group study as well. And there are facilities for you to engage in this across the university. So all colleges have their own facilities for private study, and then we also have university facilities as well. The Bill Bryson Library that you might have seen on what I still call the science site, but what the university has now changed the name to Lower Mountjoy, but harder for some of us to keep up with that. Assessment and feedback. So, as I said, we've got the formative assignments. These are mock assessments in all of the modules. We've also got written examinations, both seen and unseen questions and cases. And with these written examinations, they are a mix of in-person and online. So there are some modules where the examinations are in person, you'll go to an exam hall, you'll complete it in a set amount of time. Others where it's online, you'll have the question uploaded and you'll then have a set time window in which to complete that exam. And again, that will vary depending on what's best for that particular module. So we very much tailor the mode of assessment, be that be exam, assignment, in person, online, depending on the content of the module and how it's best assessed. There's also summative assignments. So again, huge array of different these. So we've got investigation and research projects. For example, I know that there's a politics module where you do a case study on a particular country. So you look at how that country has developed over time. That's the case study here. We've got business reports, critical essays, discussions of academic research, discussions of the literature, and potentially some presentations, again, in certain modules. We also have the dissertation, as I said, double module in third year. You have to do one, but because you're PPE, you get the choice of where to do it. If you are unfortunate enough to choose a single honours degree, you've got to do it in the discipline that you've chosen, irrespective of how much you're enjoying that over the course of the 3 years. But in PPE, you get to choose. Whichever one you're most interested in, you're most enjoying, you get to do your dissertation there, as long as you choose the right modules in second year. Feedback, we've got the written and oral feedback on the formative assignments as well. We've got the seminars, that small group teaching, that back and forth with the seminar tutor. All of the members of staff have regular contact hours. In economics, for the last year, they've been both online and in person. So if you wanted to make it all the way up to this building, you could. But if you didn't, if you were on the other side of town, you could come and see us online instead. We, as I said, got written feedback, oral feedback, office hours. We've also got contact hours for the year tutors, the programme director, and on top of all that, you can always just email. If you're struggling with a particular module, if you're struggling with a particular area, then just get in contact with the lecturer, the seminar tutor, and they're always more than happy to help with those areas. Resources and student support. So, I've mentioned the library already. I always forget what slides I've got in this presentation. So we've got the library, the Bill Bryson on the main campus, and then we've also got college libraries as well. We've got the business school library, which shouldn't really be called a library anymore because they moved all the books out to make room for more computers. But we still call it the library, optimistically, to make room for computing facilities. We've also got computer rooms around the university and in the colleges as well. We've got a web-based learning environment, Blackboard Ultra, and this is where the learning material is posted. So this is where, for example, your lecture slides would be posted. The lectures, as long as it's appropriate for the discipline, are recorded, so the lecture recordings are put up there. This would also be where any seminar questions would be found, past examination papers would be found, other supporting materials. Every module has a module handbook which contains details on the learning material. This would also be where, for example, the reading lists would be found. Again, this varies from module to module. We've got, as I said, the consultation hours, the feedback. We've got the assigned academic staff. As I said, we've got the module tutors, so every module has the lecturers who give the lectures on that. We've also got the seminar tutors, the module leader as well, the dissertation supervisors. You'll have a number of meetings with whoever is your supervisor over the course of the year. They'll also provide feedback on your dissertation on an ongoing basis, and in economics you'll always have your year tutor as well. So, question that everyone always likes to ask: how will your degree class be determined? So it's a weighted average of your performance in your second and final year modules. 40% in second year, 60% in final year. And for the eagle-eyed amongst you, you may have noticed that the first year isn't on there. The first year does not count towards your overall degree grade, which means that you are able to settle in, we're able to get everyone up to the same level playing field, irrespective of what you've done before you come to Durham, irrespective of what you studied. By the end of the first year, everyone will be kind of given the opportunity to be at exactly the same place, but we don't want to assess you formally whilst you're doing so. So your first year doesn't count towards your degree grade. That's not to say it's not important, it is vitally important, and the number of people who have not taken their first year seriously because it didn't count came to their second year and gone, oh, I don't know any of this material, lost count. So it is important, do put the effort in, but we won't formally count it towards your degree grade. There's also, as I said, the opportunities to change from a straight PPE degree to either PPE with study abroad or PPE with work placement year. So this takes it from a 3-year degree, which is the basic PPE program, into a 4-year degree in the two different ways. So PPE with study abroad, so the first and the second year, this is the same as the normal PPE program. The third year, you will go to a university somewhere in the world, do a year of a degree there, and then come back and do your 4th year in Durham. And your 4th year of your degree is the equivalent of the 3rd year of the normal PPE degree. You'll do the dissertation and all of the other optional modules as well. Countries that students have gone to in the past, so a number of European countries, Denmark, France, Italy, Germany, Spain, Sweden, but people have also gone further afield. We've had people who really wanted to get away from Durham go as far away as Australia, Canada, Chile, China, the USA, and many, many others. And the university has support available if that's something that you're interested in. There's also the opportunity to do a work placement, and this is one of the advantages of the PPE program at Durham. Because economics is in the business school, it means that we have a large network and a team dedicated to placements for students in the business school. So again, first and second year, same as the normal PPE program. The third year, this is where you go and work. 4th year in Durham. And I have a slide with a bit more information on the placement year because we're in the business school. 40 weeks of paid work experience in your 3rd year. So the placement year, it very much enhances your graduate prospects because you've already had that engagement, that interaction with the world of work. One thing to note about this work experience is that the type of work that you will be doing in the work placement is all graduate level work. So it's all the type of work that you would be expecting to do it after graduation as well. So it's not fetching and carrying, it's not making the tea, and the business school is very strict on that when it comes to building those engagements with our work placement partners. You'll build a large number of transferable skills, knowledge, expand your professional network and industry contacts. We have had people in the past who have done a placement year in a particular company who have then been offered a graduate opportunity in that company for after their final year of their degree, and potentially it can be very helpful for achieving a higher class of degree classification. So in 2019, which is the latest data that we have, 52% achieved a first compared to 13% of non-placement students across the degree. So that year can make quite a considerable difference. Extracurricular activities, mention them briefly, but come back to them. Student societies, numerous student societies, many of them set up by PP alumni at one time or another. The French Society, one example, Sustainable Finance Society, another. PP students get involved in a huge array of different societies, finance society, etc. There's also the opportunity to take evening language courses as well through the university. Program information, so the formal regulations for the degree are available via this website. These are the modules that are available. As I said, there's a huge array of choice, and because it's the PPE program, you get 3 times as much choice as anyone on the straight programs. If you want to get more information, there's a number of people you can contact. You can contact the undergraduate office here in the economics department. You can contact Bahar in politics, Alex Broadbent in philosophy, or please feel free to contact me, and my email is there. Fairly easy to come up with. It's just michael.now@durham.ac.uk.